Hey guys, Dr. Dwayne here. Today, we're going to be talking about 4 exercises that you can do to help recover from a medial meniscus injury. This is going to help rebuild more strength, get you back to high-level activity or return to sport. Let's jump into it. This first one challenges your quads, your glutes, and your balance. These are all things that are important for knee stability. We're going to start with our back foot on a bench here. Our front foot is going to be on a plate. I'm using a 45, but feel free to be smaller or slightly bigger. If you're curious how far to put this, a standard place to put it is when your butt's barely on the bench and your leg is out straight. That's where you're going to put your foot there. Okay, so make sure it's about that far. So my foot's going to be here. The back foot's going to be up. I'm nice and balanced. What we're going to do, we're going to control down here, all the way down, nice and controlled. We're going to feel that load through this leg. Our front leg glute is going to be stable. And we're going to drive back up. And we're going to control back down. Notice how deep I'm getting. That's the point of this front box, to allow me to get deeper into this. Okay, do this for 3 sets of 15 on each side. This exercise mimics the deceleration phase, or the absorption of the force when we're having to stop and catch forces to make cuts or step off of boxes or go downstairs and things like that. There's always that deceleration loaded phase. This is going to really help strengthen that. So before I say anything about this exercise and how to go about doing it, the gold standard for this is no hand support, one leg, and coming all the way down to touch your back knee on the ground, which is ridiculously difficult for a lot of people, okay? So I'm going to talk about this now. We're going to scale with some hand support, and we're going to modify the range to challenge yourself, not hurt yourself and set yourself back, okay? That's very important here. So we're going to have hand support here. We're going to be planted on one foot, and then we're going to slowly control our weight down as low as we can go without feeling like I have to put this foot down or I'm going to fall or I'm getting a sharp pain in the knee, okay? So we're going down, we're controlling, we're pausing, and then we're going to drive up through the heel. So don't let my front heel lift up as I'm coming up, okay? So we're coming down, we're controlling. You're going to feel this big contraction here in that front quad, and then come back up. We're going to do 3 sets of 10 on both sides. Finally, we're adding some lateral stability and lateral strength to help create the driving forces needed to absorb force laterally, okay? That's very important at supporting the knee in this direction. So you're gonna start by attaching a cable, a band, or sled around our waist, like with a strap. And then we're gonna bend our knees slightly and we're gonna walk and drive laterally, okay? Then control ourselves so our knees aren't caving in, our toes aren't pointing out like this. I wanna be nice and stable. Our toes are gonna point relatively neutral forward. We're gonna go all the way out and we're gonna come back. I'm using a cable machine, but feel free to use a band, you know, one of those long elastic bands or something like that for resistance. If you are driving the sled, I want this to be a moderate weight. So think about 25 feet one direction, 25 feet the other direction. If you're using a cable here, you know, 2 or 3 steps out for 5 to 8 repetitions, and then spin around, go the other way. Do the same amount. Now we're going to add a little bit of plyometrics to this challenge. What this is going to do is help us absorb and create force quicker, more rapidly. So this is going to help us with the cutting movements, the jumping, the absorbing the force from the jump. This is really important for higher level activities or return to sport. You need to be able to do this if you're returning to sport. So we're going to start on a box here and we're going to step off. We're going to absorb the force quietly and immediately take a bounding jump to the left, okay? So we're gonna depth drop, 1 foot, stabilize. Notice how I caught myself and you didn't hear me pounding as I was landing, right? So again, I'm gonna slow this down as much as I can. We're gonna come down, land, absorb the force, stable through this knee, and immediately bound and stabilize and catch ourselves. Notice how on both my knees were nice and stable and they didn't cave in, okay? We're gonna do 3 sets of 10, both directions. So remember for this, we're always going away from the outside leg. We're not yet landing and crossing this way just yet. Do these 4 exercises once you've mastered the basic rehab exercises. These are gonna help take your balance, strength, and power to that next level. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. Subscribe for more physical therapy approved workouts. See you in the next video.
Subscribe for more evidence-based rehab exercises.
Valley Rehab Physical Therapy and Return to Work Center.